Hello, hello, Sarah of SEK Handmade here. And friends, I am so excited to get back to one of my very beginning videos I ever made back when the world shut down for the pandemic. I started a Meet the Maker series where I would chat with makers, and it became one of my most favorite things to do. You know me, you know I'm a chatty person, and meeting new makers and sharing makers that I love with you is always so much fun. I am thrilled to bring to you today one of my maker besties, Michelle of Tales of Knots, and for you to get to know her maybe almost as much as I know her. All right, welcome, Michelle.
Hello, hello.
How
I
are
was going to
you?
say, I don't count as meeting a new maker, surely, because we've known each other for years.
We have, and I feel so blessed to have known you for years. And I'm thrilled for other people to get to know you because hopefully there are a couple people here who don't know you yet, and they need to.
Oh, well, hi, all new people. I'd like to get to know you too.
Yes, absolutely. So, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? How's all this snow going on?
You know what? We don't have a lot of snow. I was going to
Really?
ask you, I know you said your kids were off
Yeah.
yesterday, and I was
Mhm.
like, I wonder if it's because of snow or because of cold, because
Both.
my kids had off because of cold.
We're off because of both. We've got the snow and we've got the cold, but thankfully they're back in school today, so I've got a little bit more free time, but it's still absolutely freezing.
Sure. Did you get a lot of snow?
Yeah, I feel like we did. Like it's been snowing fairly regularly
Oh,
and
wow.
it's not having a chance to go anywhere. It's just piling up and piling up. But like that's relative because you live in Wisconsin where it gets a lot of snow. So we don't have as much as you do probably. Maybe
Sure.
about a foot, I think.
It's I will say all the people in the South who are not used to dealing with snow, my heart goes out to them. I actually had a very interesting conversation with a woman at the yarn shop who's from the South
Mhm.
about how their power grid works differently and why their power goes out so often when things like this happen. And that would terrify me because I'm like, snow, but our power never goes out. So it's like not a big deal. But listening to different people from different areas of the country talk about what a lot of snow is very interesting.
It's all relative.
It is very much all relative. I was actually talking to our friend Amber, and she said, "It's cold here. It's 40 degrees." And I was like, "Amber, it was minus 40 degrees here."
Yeah. I was talking to someone as well. He said, yeah, it's the same here. It's really rainy and, it's only 45 degrees. It's like, it's not really the same.
Yeah, not quite,
But
but
okay.
cold for you, friend.
Yes, all for you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'd love everybody to get to know you a little better. Can
Mhm.
you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I can. I can tell a little or I can tell a lot. I'm one of those people when you say like, "Oh, so where are you from?" It's, okay, well, how long have you got? Do you want the short answer or do you want the really long answer? Because essentially, I'm English by nationality, but I didn't really grow up there. I grew up in Belgium, and then now I'm here in Michigan. So I have a husband and three young daughters. But if you want the really long answer, then there's pretty much all the world in between where I've lived and done random things. So yeah, it's definitely a short answer. I'm English. I grew up in Belgium. Now I live in Michigan.
Wonderful. What are some other hobbies that you enjoy other than crocheting, obviously?
I drink coffee. I drink lots of coffee. Sewing. I really like sewing. But you know what? I have not got into sewing in I don't know how many years. I really loved sewing before I started crochet. That was my starter craft. That was the one I got into when I was 16, I think. I tried picking up knitting a few years ago. I can knit and purl, but I wouldn't say I can knit. I'm not a knitter. All crafts. I think that's probably what most like fiber artists say, don't they? It's like, well, I love trying new things. I like
100%.
scrapbooking and journaling, and I like collecting random scraps of fabric and things that I'm sure I'm going to quilt one day. But yeah, sewing was where
Mhm.
it started. Sewing was my first love, but crochet is now my passion. So I haven't got my sewing machine out in years, but I know you have, haven't you?
I have.
Yes.
So that's one of my goals this year is to learn how to sew because my mom, who passed away, was a quilter and a tailor. She was amazing. And I don't know that I'll ever get to there, but
Mhm.
I've been starting to follow these ladies who are both going to the thrift store and finding old quilts and cutting them into jackets, and people who are creating their own quilted fabric and turning those into jackets. And those I really love because they're all like, bright, bold, modern colors
Mhm.
in this kind of classic craft. And I love the melding of the two together.
Oh, that's so you.
100%.
Bright colors.
So I'm excited to get into that. We'll see how far I get though.
Mhm.
So you started with sewing.
I
Tell
did.
us about your crochet crafting journey. When did you learn? Who did you learn from? How did you progress from a casual crocheter to a designer and all the other million wonderful things you've done in the industry?
So it's one of those things where it's a little bit weird. Like I don't remember exactly why I decided I wanted to learn crochet. I think that I found a pattern on Ravelry. And I think is it Elise Myers who's like, I have the gene where how hard could that be? And I'll just try that,
I
And
can
I
do
was like,
that.
"Oh, that looks doable. I can do that." So I do remember that one Christmas I asked my parents-in-law, I said I would like some crochet hooks, some yarn, and like a book to teach yourself to crochet. I don't remember if it was a long time before I had kids or if I was pregnant with my eldest and I was thinking I could do baby blankets and all sorts. The very first like full thing I made was generally baby items. So I think I was pregnant at the time. Probably why I can't remember. Because it messes with your memory, doesn't it?
Those little
Yeah,
people just suck the memory right out of you.
exactly. So I think those years are just kind of a blur. But yeah, that was generally why I started, I think, to learn to crochet. And then it was I would put my hooks down and then like a year later I would go, oh, I've seen a nice little booty pattern. Maybe I could do that. Except I've completely forgotten how to crochet. So then I would have to teach myself. I think maybe I did this 3 or 4 times over the course of a few years where you completely forget everything in between and then essentially have to start from scratch again at the beginning. But then the last time I did it, I was like, right, I'm not putting my hooks down now. I'm just going. I'm going to keep going. And I made blankets and I made baby shoes and I made some for my nieces and nephews and I made some sweaters. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I can keep doing this.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. How did you transition to making from people to did you I feel like a very common path for people is they start making for themselves
Mhm.
and their loved ones and they look around and think everybody I love has a handmade hat. Now what? And so they go to selling their handmade items. Did you ever sell? Or are craft markets like very much an American thing?
They're not an American thing. And at the time, I was living in Germany. So Germans love their craft markets.
Ooh.
But that was never something that I went into. And I think it was probably the age of my kids at the time.
Mhm.
So I had 2 probably at that time, possibly pregnant with the third, which was not planned, but they're all very close together. So I was at home with 3 kids. My husband was working. I was in a country that I was not that familiar with and had no family around. Selling items was not really something that I thought about doing. So I went straight from making to I could design. How hard's that? That gene again.
I was going to say, I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it was I wanted something that I couldn't find a good pattern for.
Yeah.
So I think that's another way that people go into designing, isn't it? Like,
100%.
I want something, but I can't find what it is. So I'm going to have a go at seeing if I can come up with it by myself. And oh, look, I can. Okay. Well, how do I write a pattern? Let's try writing a pattern.
Mhm.
And then Ravelry makes it so easy to just start, doesn't it? Like, you want to list a pattern, you find out how to list it, and then see how you do. So
Yeah.
that's basically how I went from making to designing.
Ravelry makes the barrier to entry so minimal.
Right
I
down.
I always say to my crochet students, I'd say, with independent publishing now, if you were like, man, I'm good at this single crochet, and you wanted to go home and make a pattern and publish it, you could. And they're always like, you are nuts. And I'm like, I mean, maybe not straight from the learn to crochet class to the making the pattern, but I mean, that's kind of how it works. You just decide, I'm going to give it a try, and you give it a try.
Yeah, you've got to learn as you go. I mean, so yes, maybe not right after you've just learned how to single crochet, but there's no like course on, I mean, there probably is now, but there wasn't like courses on how to become a designer, how to sell your patterns online. I mean, now I'm sure you can find everything that will teach you all the things you need to know that we didn't have when we started. But yeah, you find a method you like doing, like on Ravelry, or you can sell on Instagram now, or you can have a YouTube channel and just try it and see where it gets you.
Yeah. So I know you journeyed a little bit away from designing for a little while. Do you want to tell everybody about what you did and what that was like, and how you ended up back in designing?
Yes. So I became a technical editor because I like one of the best ways to learn to crochet, I found, like to learn increasing, like leveling up your skills and new techniques and things. I tested a lot. And I think that's probably how I met you. Did I test for you, or we were in a group that was testing for each other or something?
Potentially.
I think so. I think I might have tested.
I met a lot of people.
Yeah. So it was a really great experience of testing for different designers. And that's also a great way to learn how to write a pattern too, because you start to see how they do it and the format that they use. And I love learning. So I go massively down rabbit holes of like, well, what is the exact right terminology you should use in this bit? And how exactly should you phrase that? And then after a while, more and more tests, people would say with my feedback, they're like, wow, this is really detailed feedback. You should be a tech editor. So I became a tech editor. It's one of those things where then I reached out to the people that I was testing for before and said, I'm going to become a tech editor. Would you like to be my client? And you said yes.
Okay.
And so that's generally like, you were my first one, I think. And that's how I got started technical editing.
Yeah. Yes. I was just saying to a friend how you and I very much grew together in that.
Yes, we did.
You were my first tech editor, and
you were my first client.
And we really grew together in like, what does this process look like? How's the best way to explain things?
Yeah.
And it was really wonderful. For those who don't know, can you explain what a tech editor does?
Yeah. So when you write a crochet pattern, you give it your best shot, but there might still be errors. And so it's a really good idea to get your patterns tested by makers who will make it up and go, okay, it makes the item you say it makes, and it fits me the way that you say it fits me, which is great. But then a technical editor will check all the maths, will check all your calculations, will check that you haven't got a neckline that's coming down like around your bust, that you haven't got armholes that are down by your waist. It will also check that you're against your own patterns, that you're staying consistent, that you're using the same phrasing the way you do your repeats, or the way that you count your stitches and put your stitch counts at the end, so that people get to know your patterns and get to go, oh, Sarah does it this way. Yeah, that's great. I know exactly what she means there. And so just make sure that you've got all the essential parts of a pattern that you need. Like you've got the abbreviations list and the abbreviations are correct, that you've got the pattern notes that say all the notes that you might need it, and a correct pattern basically. So testing it with makers and getting it tech edited are sort of the overlapping skills, but they're not quite the same.
Yeah. I find that testers are really great to say, I know that in your brain this makes sense, but in my brain, I don't know what you're talking about here. And then I can like describe it a little bit, and they say, oh, okay, it would make more sense to me if this, this, and this. And then if there's a larger group of testers, they can all say, oh yeah, that's more clear. Or no,
I don't like it that way. Phrase it
I
the
like
other
it
way
the
around.
other way, right?
Yeah.
They can kind of help with like the understanding of the pattern, and the tech editor really is like, you need a space here, you need a comma here, you said this here and that here. What? Pick one.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely true.
how did you move from tech editing for individual designers to tech editing to companies?
This is one of those questions where people might not like the answer because it's essentially right place, right time.
Sure.
There's no like actual, like, this is the steps that you take and then you'll be sorted.
Mm-hmm.
I designed for Knit Crate, who we won't mention anymore, but
yeah,
I did.
Which is no longer around.
No longer around. No, and when they went bankrupt, they owed me a lot of money. But I started my relationship with them very well, which was doing a design for them. And then the contact there said, this is funny. We've never had a pattern that doesn't have any errors. Did you get it tech edited? Because they normally provide the tech editor. Mm-hmm. And so I said, no, but I am a tech editor. And they went, ooh, interesting. Can we send you a couple of patterns as a test? And so I said, yes, I'm looking for new clients. That's fine. So they sent me them as a test, sent them back. They went, great. Will you come and work for us? So that became a relationship of me doing tech editing for them sort of as an in-house tech editor. So anytime a designer would design for a Knit Crate publication, it would come to me. I would edit it and, work with the designer to make sure that it fit the Knit Crate style guide, the standards that they use for their pattern writing. And then sort of one thing led to another, like word of mouth, I think. So the person that was the contact at Knit Crate, then, somebody else was looking for a tech editor. She said, oh, well, actually, the tech editor I work with is great. I'll give you her details. And I think it just sort of snowballed like that. So I think the biggest one I worked for mostly was We Crochet. So that was a very good relationship with We Crochet. But I did also have some not great relationships with other people, or not other people, actually, other publications. And so I'm not going to name and shame, but it can become a bit of a difficult relationship when the designer does not know who you are and they don't know why they should trust you and they don't think you're right. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing to go to someone like I came to you and I said, here, tell me what's wrong with this. And it's a whole nother thing for someone to say, thank you for your pattern. We're going to take it to someone who's going to tell you what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
That can be a bit harder of a touchier of a relationship. But I have to say, and you tell me if you're wrong, I think the industry is always looking for good tech editors.
Oh, yeah.
So if people are like, I'd like to do something, but I don't think I want to design, but you've got a very logical, organized brain, look into tech editing. There are some courses you can take now.
Yep.
I think the Craft Yarn Council maybe has one.
I'm not sure about the Craft Yarn Council, but the Tech Editor Hub offers courses. Yeah, and then you've got individual designers like Edie Ekman, I think, maybe offers a course. There are multiple ways you can learn nowadays. And I think I don't know if I'm 100% correct, but like the Tech Editor Hub, I think they give you even more practical advice about like how to get started in business, not just how to tech edit as well.
Yeah.
Or you can do the route I did, which is just go for it. If you have a really keen eye for detail, you're the person that always like corrects everyone else or tries not to and does it in your head anyway, then maybe you'd be a good tech editor.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've moved on from tech editing. What are you doing now?
So I've gone back to my first love, which was designing. I really did enjoy designing. And then it's one thing where, it doesn't really make you very much money right at the beginning when you're first getting started, because you need to build like a group of people who actually know who you are and like your designs. So tech editing was kind of a natural evolution in my business. But then I found that, it wasn't what I loved doing. I was good at it, but I didn't love doing it. I found it was quite draining. And I would sort of dread getting the next lot of massive edits from a different magazine or something. So I thought, you know what, actually, I don't really enjoy this and I'd like to go back to designing. I never really left designing. I would do a few things sort of at the same time. But now my time is freed up without the deadlines. I can concentrate on, imposing my own deadlines and missing those too. So I just really like designing garments. That's kind of the niche that I've landed in that I really like doing.
Awesome.
And I found that there weren't very many that were designed for different bust sizes. So, and I've got a bigger bust, just like Sarah, just like lots of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes garments don't really fit us very well. So I found that there was definitely a gap in the market there for us curvier ladies to have things that fit us nicely.
Yes. I remember before I was designing and I was looking at things just to make for fun. And I never got into garments because so many of the people that I saw designing the garments were tall and skinny and not as voluptuous, shall we say?
Not the same body shape.
Not the same body shape at all. And so I very much worried that that wouldn't translate. I know going into a store, I have to try on a whole lot of things, and a lot of them look very bad on me before I find something I really like and feel comfortable in. So the thought of essentially making the thing on the rack and then putting it on my body and being like, oh, I wish I hadn't bought this.
Yeah. Except that it's not buying, is it? It's spending weeks doing it.
Yeah, I've spent hours and hours making it. I've spent money on the yarn more than I would have spent in, you know, the shop picking something up. So I think you have a unique perspective to make you just such an incredible expert on this because you have the body shape you're shooting at. Not that we can't be empathetic of other body shapes, but it's just different to have that body shape yourself and know what it's like to travel through the world in that body shape.
And to understand where things don't normally fit you off the rack in the shops. Because you can say it doesn't fit big boobs, but then other people might be like, but why not? Whereas when you've tried it on, you go, this is why not. This bit of fabric here, or this wavy bit at the back, this is why it doesn't fit. Or it's like squashing you in.
Right. It's so tight across your bust, but too big in other places.
Yeah. And so you don't have to, but having the body shape definitely helps you understand where it goes wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah, 100%. I also think the fact that you started in sewing, do you agree, gives you a different perspective? Because I had not, before I started designing, I had not thought about the shapes that make up my clothing. And when you sew, I have secondhand knowledge from watching my mom sew. But when you see a pattern laid out in sewing, almost none of it's a square.
Nothing. No.
Yeah. And so the fact that, I mean, you can put squares together, and for some people and body shapes, that looks great. But to have that sewing perspective, that when garments are sewn together, what shapes make a sleeve and make a garment that's fitted is just really invaluable knowledge. And that on top of your tech editing experience, I mean, to make a pattern for a garment takes a good chunk of time.
So it takes a long time.
Yeah. So to be able to take other people's patterns and see what the pieces end up as and immerse yourself in that is just, you just have so much high quality and a depth of knowledge that I think a lot of people, I mean, nobody starts out with, but make you uniquely suited to really guide people through this.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I didn't start sewing regular items really. Like when I first started sewing, it was a learn to make your own prom dress. So, you know, I jumped right in at the deep end. And it was like a fully corseted, double layered, lace paneled, full skirted, like ball gown that I made. So
holy bonkers.
Right? How hard can it be? That's what I jumped in with, and seeing those patterns flat, and you're like, how does this sew together? Like, how are you supposed to sew that together? And then you do, and you put it on, you're like, oh, it's like it tucks in and it does this. So seeing those patterns flat gives you a whole new perspective on how the torso is actually shaped. When you see a sleeve pattern, like down on a flat piece of paper, and it's got this huge bell curve at the top and this little dip in, you're like, I don't understand how that makes a sleeve. But then when you actually make it and attach it, you go, oh, I see what that would look like if you took it off and put it flat. And so, yeah, I think really it's the sewing background and seeing those patterns that are really tailored and how they work differently depending on the bust size and depending on the length of your waist, and where you have to make the little notches for where your waist is and your hips and line those up and make bust darts and all sorts of things that, you know, sewing is a little bit easier because you can kind of make it and then tweak it afterwards.
Yes.
And crochet and knitting, you have to do it in process. You can't cut fabric out after. Well, I mean, you can, but I would not advise it. But it's definitely a completely different process. But seeing how the sewing patterns are developed gave me a totally different way of looking at crochet patterns, probably.
Absolutely. So, okay, I have a little story for you.
Okay.
When I was teaching, I taught in an elementary school, and you will be shocked to learn that I'm a little goofy. So I started working on the student broadcast with a couple of my friends, and we had characters, like we had wigs, and we were just ridiculous. And so we were going to do a skit for the kids where our characters were going to sing a spoof of Can't Touch This.
I already like where this is going.
So I decided I was going to make both of us hot pink hammer pants.
Okay, love.
But I wasn't going to use a pattern because it was like the 2000s and you didn't have an MC hammer pants pattern. And I started making, and I thought, oh, I'll just put squares together. It'll be rectangles together. It'll be fine.
How hard is it?
It was not fine. And so I went to my mom and I said, I don't get it, Mom. It's not working. And she goes, well, Sarah Elizabeth, you got to put a crotch in it. And we think of ourselves as, you know, these rectangles, but our body, you know, when you see a pant laid out, you have to shape for the fact that you aren't just two sticks sticking out of a square.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the biggest question now I have is, do you still have those pants?
Oh, I do not. I wonder if I could go back and find pictures, though.
Oh, my goodness. I think you have to. I think we need to see pics, or it didn't happen, Sarah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to go back and see if I can find them. But yeah, we were ridiculous. But that was my first lesson in the fact that, like, you can't just throw some squares together and call it good.
But that's what we do in crochet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a lot of people and a lot of body shapes that fits just fine. And if that's you, great. But there's equally just as many of us who are a little bit curvier and don't really fit that. I mean, we can put it on, but it doesn't suit us. It's got, like, you know, really gapey necklines and things. And it's just not the best fit for us. So
right. Yeah. And I think certain fabrics lend themselves better to that more boxy fit. Like I can wear a boxy sweater that is a lacy pattern because then it kind of drapes to my body because the fabric itself stretches a little bit. But more dense fabrics, you're like
if you're wearing something that you've made in mosaic crochet, and you've made it a square, it's still gonna be a square. right,
because that's
a nice loose stitch pattern or something is going to mold to yourself, to your body a little bit. And that's called fabric ease. And we actually don't tend to account for that. When people talk about ease, a lot of times we just talk about adding extra room for your body, but we forget about there's 3 types of ease. And so the other bits we don't take into account, but can really help whether something fits us or not.
100%. Okay. I'm going to turn us in a new direction.
Okay.
I want to know, this is something I don't think I know about you. Tell us a little bit about your business name, Tales of Knots, and how you came to it.
I think I started with a name like a lot of people have, which is, like Designs by Michelle or Michelle M Designs or something like that. And I was like, it's nice, but it doesn't really say anything about me. It's just my name, which absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for me, I was like, I want my designs to tell a story. And I am a big Disney nerd. Like, this is one of the things where if you get the really long answer of where you're from, I used to work at Disney World. I love Disney stuff. And so I love the stories and I love telling the stories, but I also love the oral traditions that are handed down of generations of telling stories and things. And so I thought when I started designing, I don't want to just open a book of baby names and choose a load of baby names for a design. I want it to tell a story and I want it to have a name that is linked to that story. So, that's basically where I drew the inspiration for a lot of my designs. So often it would be like the name of the design would come first. And then it would go, ooh, I could make the shawl in this colors and I could make it in this shape. And I could have this kind of design on it, which kind of looks like this. And that comes through from that fairy tale and whatever else. So Tales of Knots came through from I wanted to tell a story with each design and concentrate mainly on like old fashioned fairy tales. Ones that are, Disney have taken and Disneyfied, but like the original versions are like still out there.
And Snow White and
so my Personette hat. Personette is a girl with really long hair who was trapped in a tower. And so the hat has like a braid across in the design. So that's kind of where that came from. So I didn't want to be too like, it's the Rapunzel hat, but something that kind of was a bit of a nod to the fairy tale and the inspiration that came through from that. So that's where my name came from.
I love that. Okay. Where at Disney did you work and what did you do?
I worked at the Grand Floridian Hotel, which is, if you don't know Disney, that's the big flagship 5-star resort that is right next to like Magic Kingdom, the main park. And it's Victorian themed. Ooh. So I worked in the Garden View English tea room, and I was the only one with an authentic English accent.
Of course. Did other people try to have an English accent?
Not after I arrived.
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
I love that so much.
And we served high tea, so you could go and get like crumpets and sandwiches and get your cup of tea or apple juice for the little girls. And we did a princess breakfast and it was very fun.
I love that so much. How old were you when you did that? Like high school, college age?
So it was after university. So like Disney do a college program for US students where you have to be in college. And then the international college program is you have to have graduated college and then you can come over. Okay. So it would have been just after I graduated university.
Oh my goodness.
It was a lot of fun.
I love that so much. What a great story.
It's really great.
Oh my goodness. All right. Tell us about your last project. What have you been working on recently?
Okay, so I've actually just finished filming a presentation for a summit, which is the Yarn to Wardrobe Summit. And that's hosted by Hortense of Knitting with Chopsticks. She's from Belgium. And she's put together sort of a group of, I think it's like 20 designers. Like she used to do knitting summits and crochet summits because she does both. But this one is an everyone together kind of summit. So you've got 20 designers who some do both. Some will be just about knitting. Some will be just about crochet. But a lot of it will be transferable skills between the two. So I've just finished my presentation, which is 10 no math modifications to make for curvy makers. So if you have boobs like we do, then you're not going to want to miss this. It's a free summit and it's happening, I think, 17th to the 20th of February. So keep your eye out for that. So that's got all sorts of freebies and extras and some great presentations from other designers too. So that's mainly what I've been working on for the past few weeks.
You had me at no math.
Yeah. I mean, some have a little bit, so no to low math.
Yeah, I love it.
But it's not the short rows, it's not the bust darts, it's not all of that, like much more in depth. These are my 10 hacks for getting a better fit without having to redesign everything.
Wonderful. Awesome. I love it. What's the last pattern you released?
You know what? I'm not entirely sure. I think it might be the mimosa tee, which was a while ago. I have like a very long queue of patterns that are almost ready to be released, and that I just have to do like the end part and then get them out. But so the mimosa flutter sleeve tee was probably the last official one I released to the general public. And that's really nice. It's a very lacy pattern, so it's perfect for spring. It's a raglan, specifically designed for bigger boobs, and it uses 2 of my no math modifications in the pattern too. So yeah, keep your eye out, because I've got lots coming down the pipeline, but it has been a while since I've released anything, I think.
That's okay. I think within the next month or so, we're all going to be so sick of this snowy weather.
Yeah.
And we're going to be ready to get out that yarn and make ourselves a spring top.
Yes. So I am making another version of another spring top I have too at the moment. So I am definitely over the snow.
It's time for the kids to stay in school all the time.
Yes, please.
So mom can get her work done.
Yes, no more snow days.
No more
snow days, please.
Yeah. I love it. I know you have a full, like if people want to dive really into garment modification for curvy people, you have a really in-depth and great course. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'd be delighted to. Thanks for asking. So the Perfect Fit Framework is that course that you're talking about. I sort of refer to it as like customizations, because, you know, a lot of designers offer modifications in patterns. This is kind of designed to work alongside that, because, you know, modifications can be like, if you need to change the waist, this is what you do. If you need to add length, if you have a lower waist, this is what you do. But lower than what? You know, the information is not there in the pattern to what your body is compared to. Is it based on the designer's body? Is it based on the size chart? What's it based on? So this, the Perfect Fit Framework is how you take designs and customize them to fit you. So if they've got modification instructions in, great, you can use those. But if they don't, I also teach you how to add short rows, how to add neck shaping, how to calculate for where your bust apex is, what your proportions are. You proportionate in the same way that the size charts say you are. Spoiler, you're probably not. How you work out like different bra sizes, because, you know, designs don't talk about having different bra sizes to the designer. What bra size was the design made for? Like, unless it's stated, we don't know those things. So in the course, I tell you how to figure that out, how to calculate where your main measurements are, where your bust apex is, the side seams, what you need to do to take things in, like where you need to put in darts for like waist shaping, all sorts of things. So that is like the in-depth, if you want to really go into shaping and customizing all the patterns that you like we spoke about at the beginning, that you see but go, I don't look like the designer, that's not going to look like that on me. You can still buy the pattern, and then you can use the information that I give you in the course to customize it for your body shape. So that's something that's, I think, has been missing, because I haven't really ever seen that kind of thing around, which is what led me to do it. In fact, actually, I was asked by a lot of designers to do it so they could say, we don't really know how it works on other body shapes. So here's our design. Go and take this course, and then you can use our patterns confidently too. So
yeah,
now that came about.
I think that's so wonderful. So I have taken the course, and I really feel like it's so empowering. As a designer, you can do a lot to make your pattern
inclusive,
as accessible to everyone as possible. Yeah. But you cannot possibly customize it to every body shape and size. And it's not even just bust. You and I are short little lays here, you know, and hitting around the 5 foot mark over here.
Yes, I'm just in it.
You know, so my waist versus the waist of somebody who's 6 feet tall, it's
not in the same place.
It's not in the same place. And I do think probably, I obviously don't have any experience with this, but it goes in the other direction too. It's all focused towards average,
Medium.
which is a mathematical average, but almost none of us actually fall into that average size.
Yeah.
So it's just such an empowering course to be able to know where the information is coming from and how you can make changes to fit yourself best. And while it seems really overwhelming to be like, oh, well, now I have to modify every pattern that I make from anybody. I think the key is you learn about your body specifically, and you learn, okay, the average is this. I always need my arms to be 4 inches shorter.
Yeah.
And then that never changes. You always need your arms to be 4 inches shorter, or, you always need your sleeve length to be 16 inches.
Yeah. Our weight fluctuates, but our height does not fluctuate.
Right. My waist, I have had a short waist my whole entire life.
And will continue to do so.
Right. Yeah. It's only going to get shorter.
Yeah.
But, some of these things you will learn for yourself, and then you go forward and take that knowledge with you. It's not like you're starting from scratch every time you open up a pattern.
Yeah, it's something that you can keep with you. And also, like, just understanding it can be half the battle. Like, it helps you to look at a pattern and go, I know exactly where that's going to fit me and where I'm not going to fit it. So you know what? I'm not going to try that one. And I'm going to go for this style of construction, which I do know is going to fit me at these particular points where I need it to. And then I can just make a tweak here. So it takes that overwhelm of like a huge Ravelry library that you look at and go, well, these are all popular. How do I know what it's going to look like on my size? Particularly when there's no projects that you can look at on bigger sizes. Part of my course is teaching you how to recognize patterns that are going to fit your body shape. So it takes out some of the overwhelm from just looking at the patterns going, but I have no idea if I should I not make that? And so, I think not only is it the skills and that you only have to do that once, it helps you at the very kind of beginning process of choosing which pattern you're going to make, because you can see ahead of time how it's going to translate to your body shape.
Yeah. I think that's also a great little tip you kind of like threw in there a little bit. If there are lots of projects, friends, look at the Ravelry projects. I always look at Ravelry projects for two things. One, is there someone who has shared a project that has a similar body shape to me? That can make a huge difference in whether I purchase a pattern or not. Because if I can see what it looks like on someone with a similar body shape, I have a better idea of if I'm going to like the fit of it. And two, I'm always looking for the pattern laid out flat, because most of the time designers will post pictures of the pattern worn, and it's always
from
like
the front.
A little twist, a little angle, a little like, I mean, they want to look good. Who doesn't?
It makes it look amazing.
But when you can see the pattern laid flat and you can see, oh,
that's a square.
It looked from what she was wearing that there was some neck shaping, but laid flat, it's just a square. And it's just like rectangle arms stuck out from the side. I mean, it can really give you some information about if the pattern is right for you. There's nothing wrong with those patterns, but just if it fits your preferences and your body shape.
Which is why it's so important to like upload your projects of stuff you make, because then
that's what I was just gonna say.
We can see that if we like the look of how that fits on you. So I mean, if you're not comfortable doing that, I get it, but it really does help everybody else see like, that's gonna fit me. Okay, I can make that one.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be some like designers can set the bar pretty high with how the pictures look, but it doesn't have to be some perfectly posed, well lit picture. It's just a matter
You
of
can crop
seeing.
yourself too if you don't want to show
Yeah,
your face.
that's true. I have a friend who tests a lot, and she always says, putting makeup on and having my hair all done is just so much work. And so she does, she literally crops like at her mouth, and then you can't tell she's not wearing any makeup.
Yeah, just put some lipstick on, you'd be great.
Right. Yeah, put a bold lip on and everybody will assume you have like this
Full face
of makeup. Yeah. But even just taking some snapshots of it laid flat somewhere, like laid out on your bed, or even some pictures of you just, from the front, from the side, from the back, can be really helpful to people.
Yeah, it's always those hidden, huge, baggy backs that designers don't like to photograph for good reason.
Yeah.
And like it's an easy fix to fix them, but like a lot of people, like, you just see the front and you go, well, that's great, but what does the design look? Are you, on like store mannequins where it's all like held up at the back with a big clip? Is that what's happening in this?
Yeah.
I want to see every single angle that I can to know if it's going to fit me or not. So just uploading as many photos as you can from the different angles is so helpful.
Yeah. I think us larger busted ladies have more of an issue with that gappy back, because when your front is more similar to your back, they can be the same size. But when you have to have a bigger front to accommodate your bust, making the back the same size where you don't have a bust doesn't work so well.
But you do have shoulder blades, and then you don't have those on the front. So there's a balancing act between those two. But modification number 1 and modification number 2 of my No Math modifications treat exactly that problem. So go and watch the free summit on the 17th of February to learn about it.
And I will put links to all the things for Michelle in the show notes below, so that you can go follow her, so you can go sign up for her email. Friends, we love some followers and we love some subscribers, but the reality is, unless you are seeking us out on those platforms, you're not hearing everything we have for you. So the best thing you can do is sign up for your favorite people's email list. So I'm going to get a link from Michelle. I'm going to put it in the show notes, and you can go sign up for her email list. And I'm certain she will email you. No, anyone she can. It's just for me.
I won't email you tons. I can promise you that. I won't spam your inbox. But you'll get the important things to know. All the pattern releases that I do, I'll send out in an email. Some are free on my blog. You'll get that in an email. And then, any things like the summit that I'm doing, any things that are basically good to know about new techniques. Follow me, but also sign up for the email, because that's where all the best stuff is.
Yeah. And you won't miss it. Put our emails in your contact list, and then it's a lot more likely to come to your inbox, and then you won't miss out when we have special things like a free summit that you're going to learn 10 low math things to make your garments fit better. Like, that's
rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Right. I'm so good at that too. No math. That's the important part there.
Low math.
Low math. Wonderful. Is there anything else you're working on that you'd like people to keep an eye out for?
Just the garment patterns that I've got coming up, because I know I talk about shaping a lot and customization in the course, but my garment patterns individually also have the instructions on how to modify for curvier busts and some waist and hip shapings and stuff. And it's not just add a couple of extra stitches. I go more in depth than that. And I also tell you how to pick your size and all sorts of things you need to know. So I've got a couple of garment patterns that are going to be coming out this spring. So keep your eye out for those.
Yeah. I'm going to put a little pressure, because I know that one of the things you're working on is this super, super cute sweater that has a cable pattern that comes up the sleeve and across the neckline and down the other sleeve. And you should definitely keep an eye out for that one, because it is super cute.
and Sarah has tried it on
I have.
however long ago. I promise
Yeah.
it's coming. It's coming.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. We have just a few minutes left. So I'm going to do a little rapid fire, like favorite things, this or that sort of situation.
All right.
So, what is your favorite thing to design?
Garments, tops, fluttery tops for big boobs.
What is your favorite place to crochet?
Not in front of the TV. I know I'm a weird one. I cannot crochet and watch TV. Like, I will start with the best of intention, and then an hour later, like, my hook hasn't moved and I'm staring at the TV like this. I can't crochet and watch TV. So I like listening to music, and I tend to crochet at my desk because also your tension changes if you're not supported. So I crochet on a table and I listen to music. So that's my favorite place.
I love it. Do you have a favorite fiber to work with?
I do love a superwash merino wool, but I also like cotton blends.
Okay. They are coming a long way with cotton blends recently.
They are.
A lot of people, yarn companies are getting into some cotton blends. I hate cotton, but I recently found a cotton blend that I'm obsessed with. So
yes, they're not scratchy anymore.
Or stiff. That they're really getting in there. Do you have a favorite hook that you like to use? Either size or brand?
So brand wise, the hooks that I use probably the most are the We Crochet dot ones, purely because it's very reasonably priced for a whole set. And so I have like a million 5mm hooks that are in assorted ergonomic handles and colors. But you know what? These are always the ones I reach for.
I love it. I love it. So 5mm is your favorite?
It's probably the one I have the most of. I don't know if it's the one I use the most, because I tend to crochet now that I have leaned more into garments. I've gone more of the lighter weight yarns, the fingering maybe up to DK. But yeah, so I do use probably 4.5, the most common.
Love it. What do you like to drink while you work?
Coffee, always coffee.
Are you a coffee all day person? Like, can you drink coffee until 10 o'clock at night and then go to sleep?
I mean, I used to. I'm European. So, you know, what do you do at 10 o'clock in a restaurant? You order your coffee to finish your meal. But the older I get, no, I can't drink coffee in the afternoon anymore. Otherwise, I will be absolutely wired and wide awake. So, no, I do like a good cocktail, but it doesn't lend itself to even tension. So I try not to mix those two.
Smart. Great advice. What's your favorite color?
Any like jewel tones in general, but like a purpley pink, like this kind of this is one of your patterns, Sarah. This is the Miramar shawl, and this yarn, like if my favorite color was a variegated yarn, it would be this.
Yes. I love it. Beautiful. What's your favorite season?
Autumn.
Fall. Yeah. Love fall. Not winter, especially not right now.
No. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Yeah. If you're going to make someone else's pattern, what do you tend to lean towards?
Shawls.
Shawls.
Your shawls.
Oh, thanks.
In fact, I think you might be the only other designer that I make from. I'm very particular, ladies and gentlemen, and this lady here has some very wonderfully tech edited patterns.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so shawls, I don't make very many of them actually, because I mean, you know, the struggle, like making for pleasure that's like not related to your business. There's not that much time when you've got kids running around. Every spare second goes to the designs that you're coming out with. But when I do make something else, I like a good shawl.
Yeah. Yep. It's definitely a challenge. I love to knit, and I don't know that I've knit in years.
Yeah.
Because
life is lifing.
Yep. And when you got little kids running around and bigger kids running to and fro, it gets to be a lot.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, yarn is portable.
It is. Yes.
Are you a book, or a podcast person?
I occasionally will listen to podcasts. I tend to keep those like either business related or some like really juicy murder mysteries. Love a good murder mystery. But generally books, but not audiobooks. So books and
Okay.
crochet doesn't mix for me because I can't read while I crochet.
Okay.
I just don't get on with audiobooks.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, but I will tune out and then I'll be like, I have not listened to the last 30 minutes. What the heck has happened? And so I have to rewind it. So I don't tend to listen to books, but generally I'm a book person.
Yeah. It's hard to rewind an audiobook. Like, where was I? What
Yeah.
were they saying? You
Yeah.
were maybe kind of half listening, so some of it might sound familiar, but not all of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a challenge. Are you a sweater or a cardigan person to wear?
To wear. That's much more difficult than it should be.
What is your
I'm
favorite burner on your stove?
yeah. This is like asking who's my favorite child. I mean, we all have one, but you know, I have a lot of sweaters generally because cardigans tend to be more difficult to fit for a larger bust because if they're big enough to close over your bust, then the shoulders are down here. So, but I do like throwing on a bulky, comfy cardigan in the evening when you're trying to get warm. So,
Yeah.
I do.
Sweaters during the day, cardigans in the evening.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Very diplomatic of you.
Yes. I like both equally for different reasons.
That's right. If you're grabbing a snack, are you going salty or sweet?
Salty.
Mm.
Salt and vinegar chips.
Ooh, okay.
That's a very English flavor. That's
Sure.
very European of me to go that way. We don't tend to have as many sweet snacks in England as you do over here. So I really miss the savory, like cheesy cheddar crackers and things like that.
If you like a little spice on a cheddar cracker, I highly recommend jalapeno goldfish crackers.
Oh, I have tried those. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they've got a good kick to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is worse, swatching or weaving in your ends?
Yep, both. Weaving in my ends is worse. I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Do you tend to like, I'll just stuff it up the sleeve or
No.
tuck it on? No. You have to do it before you wear it.
I'm a perfectionist, so I have to weave in the ends, but I hate it and I will complain loudly while I'm doing it.
Can you watch TV and weave in your ends?
I'm not sure I've tried. I think I probably could. Okay. Yeah, I could probably do that. Except that I can't watch TV with my husband because he likes, immersing himself in the dark when he's watching TV. So I would have to watch it by myself with all my lights on, which he would hate. So
Yes. Yeah. Watching TV while I weave in my ends is my saving grace.
Okay. I'm gonna try it. Thanks, Sarah. Okay.
You'll get in the afternoon before everybody gets home, sit down and watch something you want to watch for once. Yeah.
What? What's that? Murder mysteries.
There you go. I love it. Oh my goodness. That is all the questions I have for you.
Thank you.
It was so good chatting with you, and it was so fun to learn some new things about you too.
Yeah. We've known each other for so long.
We have. It's interesting though, because, especially I feel like we are crochet design buddies because nobody else in our because we don't live close to each other. I guess we never said. You're in Michigan and I'm in Wisconsin. So we're across the lake from each other.
Geographically, not that far, but you have to drive a really long way around.
Right, around a Great Lake or two to get there. So we talk a lot about crochet stuff because you don't go to your, kid's soccer game and talk to the mom next to you about crochet business. No. So we don't always get some of those
more personal side.
Yeah. So it was so much fun. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Happy to. All right, a huge thank you to Michelle for joining me as I restart my Meet the Maker series. I'm working on getting other makers to meet. If you have a maker that you would love for me to reach out to and learn more about them, see if they'll join us here, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Be sure to check out the show notes, hit the more, check out all of the links to Michelle. And if I miss a link, let me know and I'll gather it up and put it in there. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, it is so fun to chat with you. Leave comments. I'd love to hear what questions you might have had for Michelle or questions you have for me. And until next time, happy crafting, friends. Bye-bye.